want to share just a little bit with you before I give you suggestions for how you can deal with procrastination. Procrastination is something that I've struggled with for a long time. I mean, even from like grad school, before grad school, whatever. It would take me longer than I wanted to get things done. And certainly that has been the case for my YouTube channel. I recorded videos 3 months ago, 6 months ago, 9 months ago that I didn't post and I didn't get started with my YouTube channel. And today I'm finally kicking myself in the butt. And not only am I recording these videos, but I'm posting them as well. And one thing that's challenging me to do is get out of my head. So instead of being stuck in here thinking, evaluating, planning, processing, I'm just doing. Okay, so I'm posting. I hope you guys enjoy the content. But so often, we get stuck behind our thoughts around things. And I came across a quote that said something to the effect of, the simplest action is better than the greatest intention. And I love that. That really spoke to me because it's so true. So often we have these grand plans and ideas, but we never follow through. We never take the steps that we need to reach the goals that we've set. And so that's the first thing that I would say is get out of your head. If I think about what I was going through trying to just launch a YouTube channel and upload videos, I was worried about the lighting, the content, worried about how I'd be received. I was worried about the length of the videos. And I kid you not, I have like 8 to 10 videos that I've recorded that, I'll share it with my sister. She'll be like, oh, it's fine, put it up. And I'll go back and look at it. And it's like, no, I got to change this. I got to fix that. And so get out of your head. What do I mean by that? Stop with the shoulds and the musts and the needs to, there's so many ways that we think about things that get us stuck, right? So oftentimes, we think things have to be a certain way. They don't. Now, let me take a step back. Certainly you need some very good basic things in place, but oftentimes the way that we think about how something should look or should happen holds us back, and it causes us to spend time unnecessarily when we might have a product or a paper or a video or something that's good enough to go, but our perfectionistic thinking gets us stuck. And if we take a step back and look underneath those kinds of perfectionistic, rigid thoughts, what you might find, and certainly what I've come to find personally and in my work, is that quite often there's some insecurity underlying that perfectionistic or rigid thinking, right? And so, it might be helpful to take a step back and think, why do I need to fall back on, this project or paper or video being quote unquote perfect? What am I trying to cover up or avoid experiencing? Am I trying to manage how people think about me and view me? And certainly those are real and legitimate concerns, but they shouldn't be things that hold you back from making great gains and from reaching your goals. Okay, people are going to think about us whatever they want to think, and certainly sometimes there's some things that we can do to help shape that impression, but by and large I've found that when you just simply step out of your own way, commit to an action, and follow through the best you can, the results are pretty good. Okay, and the results are satisfactory. And so that's my first suggestion to you is get out of your own head. Things don't have, really take some time to evaluate your thoughts about how things should look or should be. And you may come to find that some of your standards, could be modified a little bit. You might find that the way that you're thinking is too rigid and it's unhelpful. And then, take some time to really restructure those thoughts and come to some balanced thinking around how things should actually look. The other thing I would say is that, sometimes there's fear or worry. There are emotions that we experience that hold us back from following through on something that is important to us, right? Thereby causing us to procrastinate or to wait, to delay. And one thing I would say is helpful is this. Certainly you can take some time to evaluate your fears and worries and deal with them. But going back to that quote, the simplest action is better than the greatest intent. So what I found helpful is something called opposite action that comes from DBT, which is a certain kind of like therapy intervention. And basically what this principle is, you're going to do the opposite of what your inclination is to do, what your urge is to do. And so if because of fear or worry, your urge is to not follow through on whatever goal or step you need to take, opposite action would say, follow through anyway. So take that step anyway, despite the feelings that you're experiencing, and they could be really strong emotions. It's about making the inner commitment to just follow through with the behavior despite the emotion. And, that can be difficult for a lot of folks, and it certainly takes practice. In some of my later videos, I'm going to post some content about how to cope with negative emotions. But anyway, opposite action is something that can be helpful. Certainly some of the clients I've worked with have found it helpful, and I've found it helpful. As a matter of fact, I'm doing that today, right? Today, I tried to rationalize why I didn't need to record these videos and post them, but I did opposite action. I'm doing it anyway. So I'm letting go of those unhelpful thoughts. I'm letting go of any insecurities or worries I might have about how this will be received, and I'm following through with recording it, and I'm going to post it. So that's what I would say. The other piece is this, and then I'll let you go. Certainly self-doubt comes into play when it comes to procrastinating. Again, I mentioned earlier, there might be some insecurities at play that are keeping you from just taking the step or finishing the goal or the task that's before you. And where self-doubt is present, self-validation and self-encouragement can be really critical. And so if you might be worrying about how someone will perceive your work or how they'll evaluate you, or if you're struggling with, whether or not what you have to offer or to say is good enough, validate yourself and encourage yourself. And just remind yourself that, one, you are a unique individual. You are skilled and talented in your very own unique way. And you do have something of use to offer. Okay. And so just encouraging yourself and validating that, hey, you know what? I do have skills and abilities. I do have what it takes to get this done and to do it well, and to be successful. Again, it can really keep you from purposeful living. It can keep you from reaching your goals. I have certainly lived and experienced that, as have many of the clients that I've worked with. And if you can learn to get out of your head and to get into action, that's a starting point. So take care, be blessed, and I'll catch you in the next video.